Last week on this segment, I talked about how deeply divided Seattle is over a proposed employee tax on big business. The city has full-on devolved into one big knock-down, drag-out, angry shouting match. So honestly, I was tempted to just replay the same commentary because things have just gotten worse. Granted, the city is trying to work on some sort of compromise on the tax, but it's clear that a lot of people have come away from all of this feeling like their voices don't matter.
Union is not to go. She doesn't represent her district. We are ready to fight. Housing is a human right.
As I said last week, shouting is what you do when you feel like no one is listening. But while we all hope our elected leaders take what we say to heart, it's also true that we don't elect people who are going to roll over at the first challenge, who will easily abandon the things they believe in just because a few people shout at them. And I happen to have a perfect example. So 2 years ago, the Seattle City Council voted down a street vacation that would have paved the way for a new NBA and NHL arena. In the face of immense anger, even death threats, 5 council members stood their ground, dashing the hopes of Sonics fans. So what was it that was so important to them that they were willing to stand up and say no, despite all of the outrage? What was it that was so important to them? Hey, Aaron Levine, do you remember what it was?
Yeah, they were standing up for the Port of Seattle, worried that their workers and longshoremen might ultimately lose their jobs.
Are you sure that's what it was?
Pretty positive. It's kind of my thing.
Yeah, you know what? I think he's right.
We currently have a maritime and industrial community that provides us with tens and thousands of jobs, and I believe it's in our city's best interest to protect the jobs we know we currently have.
And Councilwoman Lorena Gonzalez wasn't alone in that sentiment. Councilwoman Lisa Herbold later explained her no vote like this. My vote was decided in favor of protecting industrial and maritime jobs so that we can maintain the diversified economy that has kept our region strong. You know, that seems like a noble cause, protecting jobs that are vital to our economy. So I thought about that when this past week, those same maritime workers said their jobs were once again on the line. In a letter, the International Longshore and Warehouse Union urged the City Council to reconsider its controversial employee tax, saying the current economic environment continues to stifle or minimize cargo growth in Seattle. But they have nothing to worry about, right? I mean, surely those same council members who voted against a new arena to protect jobs at the port would have some serious reservations about a new tax that could take those same jobs away, right? Well, this is Seattle, and council members Gonzalez and Herbold are in full support of the new tax. Despite the potential impact on those same maritime jobs they seemed to care so much about just 2 years ago. Sure, I'll admit that a new arena and a tax to help the homeless are two very different issues. But either you care about protecting jobs you say are vital to the economy, or you don't. Again, all of us should expect that our elected leaders will stand up for what they believe in. That's why we elected them in the first place. What we don't expect are for the things they believe in to change so quickly.